Today, I want to talk about a really cool trick or strategy or hack, however you want to call it, to sell more of your products online or offline. It really doesn't matter, because we all know that there's certain human psychology tricks or things that we can use and leverage in our marketing and in our messaging to make sure people are more willing to actually purchase your product. So for example, we all know that scarcity works really, really well. If you say like, hey, you have to act right now because there's only one left. Like I've got this TV right here, but it's our last one. So if you want to get it, you need to actually get it right now, right? And that should be done with integrity, right? Only if it's actually true and accurate. But that obviously works. If you say like there's only one left, people are forced to make a decision, right? They're not forced to say yes, but they're forced to make a decision. Do I really want it? Or am I okay with it being the last one? And if I come back tomorrow, it's going to be gone, right? So that's something we all know. We also know is reciprocity works. So, right? So if I give you something, right, for free, then you're more likely to then later spend money with me. So for example, they did an experiment where they had someone coming into the shop, like a candy shop, right? And either one or two things happened. If you would come into the shop, either the founder would invite you in, say welcome, like awesome, like here's the shop, like here's what we have, do you want anything, right? Or same thing, like founder came like, hey, welcome you into the shop, gave you a candy, like a piece of chocolate, like hey, want to try this out? Gave you a chocolate. And then said like, hey, you can check this out, you want something. And what happened was that if people got that chocolate, if people received that chocolate, they spent 42% more in that shop compared to the people who didn't get that chocolate, which is interesting, right? So recently I had a mastermind with Robert Cialdini. He's the founder and writer of Influence, one of the most influential books about human psychology. And he was talking about this as well, and in more detail about what is actually needed to make this very effective, right? Because the fact that you're giving something to your audience, to your potential customer, like it doesn't always mean they're gonna spend more money. So what are the 3 things you need to do to make sure that if you give something away, that it actually works, that people they feel that they should give you something in return, which could be by making a purchase, could be like a lot of different things, right? So the first rule of reciprocity is that it has to be unexpected, right? So let's say a lot of businesses send discount coupons, so it's not always as unexpected, right? But if it's really something like a surprise that they did not expect, then all of a sudden like it's a lot more valued, right? Like it has to be unexpected for it to work. If people expected that they're just going to get something, then it's like doesn't really work. So it has to be unexpected where they feel like, oh wow, like that's nice, right? That's the first thing. It needs to be expected. Secondly, it needs to be meaningful. Like for example, that coupon code, if you just give away something like they get a folder in the mail, like physical mail, there's a coupon code that is not unexpected, because a lot of businesses send that out. And also like it's not very meaningful because like everyone is getting it, right? Let's say someone goes into your shop offline and someone is at the door like, hey, today, because it's a special day or whatever, we wanted to reward our customers that are coming in today with a discount, like we're doing that today only, like boom, here's a discount coupon. Like all of a sudden it's a bit unexpected, but it's definitely meaningful, right? Because it's only for them, it's not for everyone, right? And that makes a big difference. So it has to be really meaningful. Like if people need to feel you put time and energy into it. If it's like super easy to give away, it's not very meaningful, right? But if they feel like you went through the process, and one of the things you can do to add more meaning to it is to tell your audience, tell the people what you actually went through. I mean, it's one thing to give a chocolate at the door, which is unexpected, right? That's on itself is unexpected. But another thing is like to tell the story around it. Like, hey, yeah, we have people that craft like the chocolate, like the beans. They're coming from a field nearby, and then they're shipped down here. And we actually make this chocolate by hand. Like it's a long process. Like we do this, and then we do that, and then we add a little bit of this because that makes it taste like way better, right? And I wanted you to try this out because we're very proud of what this is, right? Now all of a sudden, it's not just chocolate, but it's like this chocolate has a story to it. It's way more valuable, and it has meaning, right? It's like, wow, they went through all that trouble and I'm getting it for free, and it does something, right? Because obviously a story always helps communicate the value way better than if you just say like, hey, well, it's our best chocolate, right? That's one thing. But if you tell the story of how it was produced, then all of a sudden like, wow, like that's amazing. And they feel part of that experience, and they taste it, and it's like, wow, right? It's unexpected and it's meaningful, right? And if you combine these 2 things, like people are way more inclined to do something back for you, right? And the final and third thing, this is optional, but it makes things even better if it's also personalized. So if you give your audience something which is very much personalized, and Robert Cialdini, he actually gave a good example of a friend of his. He was sending out invoices, right, for his business, and the problem he had is that his audience, like his customers, they were paying with a lot of delay. So they were paying the invoices, but it took them like 90 days to actually get paid, which obviously for a business owner is an issue, because you'll have to pay your stock and everything, but it will take 90 days, like 3 months for actually to get paid. So it means you need to bridge that gap, right? So he was trying, how do we make sure that people pay me faster? And then Robert gave the advice, you know what you should do? He knew like that his biggest customer, his biggest client, he was into art. So like, you know what, I'm gonna send him a postcard, personal postcard, handwritten, with like a local art gallery here in the neighborhood. And I'm gonna send it out, like I'm gonna not just gonna send the invoice, but I'm also gonna send out the postcard, like with about the gallery, and like with a handwritten note, like, hey, I know this is from an art gallery nearby, maybe you'd like it, like here's the invoice, right? And what would happen was amazing, because all of a sudden the time that it took to actually get paid was cut in half. He paid twice as fast, right? But still, it was around 45-ish days. Still, he was like not as happy, because like still I need to bridge that gap. It's still quite a long time. So how do I go even deeper, right? And the next time he realized, and he heard, is that the client wasn't into any kind of art, but in a specific type of art. Like, I don't even remember what it was, but a very specific. So he went looking for a cool postcard specifically for that type of art that the client was into. Like very much personalized, added the handwritten note, put the next invoice in there, and guess what happened? Next invoice, he got paid immediately, right? Because it was so personalized to the person he actually he was sending it to, that like it was unexpected, right? It was meaningful because it was handwritten, and it was very much personalized, right? And those are the three things. If you put that in place, people can't resist to do something back for you, right? So if you can do something unexpected, something truly meaningful, and ideally make it as personalized as possible, right? And obviously you can make it personalized for everyone if you have a big business. But guess what? You probably have X amount of your best clients that you can send an unexpected and meaningful and also a personalized gift to. And that's going to increase loyalty, and that's going to, again, make sure that people want to do something back for you. So in any of your marketing or anything in your communication or in your messaging, try to think of like, hey, what can you give away first? What can you give away that's unexpected, meaningful, and perhaps even personalized? Because that way, like, you use the max potential of reciprocity, and that's why people I can't wait to do something back for you, whether it is to purchase a product, whether that is to help you out with something, like whatever it is, like that's really how you do it. So I just wanted to share that with all of you. I hope it helps, and if so, I will see you next time.